Hi, I'm Nils Breckhoff for Cox 4. Welcome to Community LA. Today, we're highlighting some energetic groups focused on the future of our great state. We'll be checking in with the community efforts of the Louisiana Lottery, talking about Medicare, and seeing some great Louisiana vacation sites. But first, we look at a new concept from our friends at Peak Performance Physical Therapy. It's their new pelvic floor clinic in Baton Rouge. Take a look.
Pelvic floor therapy is something that lots of people don't know about or know that they can get help for. It's a very sensitive subject. People don't really like to talk about it around here, about bladder dysfunction, bowel dysfunction, or any kind of pelvic pain. But it's very common for women, especially after having babies or in the menopausal years. So having a place like this is a very comfortable place for them to come so that they can get treatment for their pelvic muscle dysfunction, and we can really work to eliminate the bladder and bowel symptoms. So at the initial evaluation, we sit and talk where the patient tells me their symptoms. I get a good medical history on the patient, and then I explain to them the function of the pelvic muscles related to their bladder or bowel dysfunction. When we come into the treatment room, we use the biofeedback technology to get a muscle reading. We watch it on the computer screen. The patient watches it with me. We analyze the muscle strength. I show the patient, this is what your strength looks like, this is what we're looking for. We also look at resting pelvic muscle tone, endurance, coordination, and we do this each time the patient comes to therapy. When they go home, they do not have the technology, obviously, but they have homework that they practice. And then once they come back, we check and compare from session to session to make sure that we're giving the right exercises and that we're improving strength from as the weeks go on.
It was a friend of Lacey's, Lauren, and she was my physical therapist. And so we discussed, I was telling her about some issues that I had, and she told me about Lacey. And I said, you know, I'd really like to try that. And she told me a little bit about it, and I had some issues that I thought Lacey would be able to help me with. And consequently, that's exactly what happened. She was able to help me with a lot of things that had been on my mind and I'd been worried about. Because I have frequent things to happen to me, and I didn't want to have surgery, in other words. And so throughout this sessions that we've had, it's all worked. It's been very beneficial.
Strengthening is, I would say, only about 50% of what goes on here, though. The other 50% is education. I think it's extremely important to educate the patient on how the bladder and how the pelvic muscles work together so that you can use those muscles to retrain and to eliminate the symptoms.
She gives me a lot of information that I can use at home. Everything we go through, she gives me papers that have the instructions for things that I can do at home, the exercises I can do at home, and which is really beneficial to me.
Patients really feel so much better about themselves after coming to therapy. I have lots of patients who will come in and say, I can't go anywhere without going straight to a restroom. And then they'll a few weeks later come back and say, I went to eat dinner and I didn't even have to go to the restroom the whole time I was there. That's huge.
I'm at the end of it, the end of my sessions now, and everything she got me up to exactly where she wanted me to be, the percentage-wise. And so I'm good to go. I'm congratulating now. And that's what I'm gonna do.
As an occupational therapist, it's a very rewarding feeling to know that you've changed someone's quality of life. And that's really what it's all about. We look at the computer a lot when we're doing our exercises, and everyone says, what number do I have to, how strong do I have to be to get rid of my symptoms? And there's no set number. There's no set, if you contract your muscles and squeeze to 20 millivolts, you won't leak anymore. It's different for every single patient. It's specific to each individual, and when people are very dedicated to exercising and to and making the changes that are necessary, they see huge impacts. Their results are amazing, and they tell everybody they know now. They talk about it all the time because they feel like everybody needs to know about this place. And you've got to come to therapy. It helped me so much. For more information, you can look us up at peakphysicaltherapy.com or call us at 225-292-2526. The Peak Pelvic Floor Clinic is located on Jefferson Highway, in between Bluebonnet and Airline. I really thought that this Bluebonnet Jefferson area was a great place to be to accommodate patients coming from all parts of Baton Rouge. If you come and see us at the Peak Pelvic Floor Clinic, I promise to help improve your quality of life, make you feel comfortable, and help get your life back.
The team at Peak have created a unique environment at the Pelvic Floor Clinic, and it's a hit. Up next, we focus our attention on Medicare. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Well, you've seen it on the news. Many thieves are committing fraud by preying on our seniors' identities and scamming the Medicare system. But their days are numbered in Louisiana, thanks to groups like the Senior Medicare Patrol. Take a look.
The Senior Medicare Patrol is federally funded by the Administration for Community Living. And in Louisiana, we're sponsored by EQ Health Solutions. Our mission is to empower Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers to prevent, detect, and report fraud, abuse, and waste through outreach, counseling, and education.
And they're telling us out of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services in Washington that anywhere from 60 to 100 billion, that's with a B, is lost by fraud, abuse, error, and waste each year in this nation. That's an eye-opener. All I know is good medicine. All I know are physicians who practice good medicine, but there are some that are not, and there are people who will take advantage of your Medicare number and buy all sorts of things with it.
In Louisiana, we have over 800,000 Medicare beneficiaries. We have 3 full-time staff with a limited budget. It's a grant program. We have 46 wonderful volunteers, but 800,000 people to reach with the few numbers that we have to support the program is daunting. So volunteers are critical for us to reach the Medicare beneficiaries across the entire state.
We are looking for someone who is not afraid to stand up in front of a group and maybe give a 15 to 20 minute presentation on Medicare fraud prevention. They talk to them about protecting their Medicare summary notice, detecting fraud, waste, and abuse on their Medicare summary notices, and then how to report that. We're also looking for volunteers who like to work at health fairs, where they stand at a booth and they hand out literature, giveaways. We provide all of that information for them.
Well, in my particular case, I answered in an ad about Spanish-speaking volunteers for SMP. One of my favorite programs is Social Security and Medicare. The costs are very high, and incrementally every year goes up higher and higher. And if fraud is one of the reasons, then I will do whatever is necessary to help. I can utilize my intelligence, my knowledge, my experience, my organizational skills, and if I don't have any of those, then I can acquire them because I'm dealing with people that are very capable. They are able to tell you exactly, well, this is what you can do, this is what's going to happen, this is the result. At the same time, some of the younger people are more knowledgeable about Medicare activities that I am not.
When that Medicare notice comes in, hopefully you can check the date, know the doctor that you saw is the doctor who's listed, and that the service that was given to you, you received, and the tests that you went to take, and the procedure, and even the hospital you were admitted to is accurate, and that you care. And if you find that it isn't, that's something you should take up with the provider, or either your plan, or if you're not satisfied with that, or you can't get an answer for it that's clear to you, that you contact the Senior Medicare Patrol for them to investigate, because I think that not only is it fraud and abuse, it's also error and waste.
It's just very simple. Look at your bill. Now, I've been looking at my bills forever because it's my money, but your money, which is basically what I'm looking out for now, and you know, the federal government doesn't have any money. This is the taxpayer money that we need to watch out for.
We have found that retired professionals are a good fit for this type of work and the type of volunteers that are important to this program. If you feel that you can help us, we would greatly appreciate you calling our toll-free number, 877-272-8720, and talk with us. You can also go to our website, stopmedicarefraudla.org, and complete a questionnaire, read more about our program, or look at some of the testimonies from other volunteers and get more information about our organization.
Don't forget, if you or someone you know could be a victim of Medicare fraud, Senior Medicare Patrol is there to help. We'll be right back with a trip to the Louisiana outdoors. Stay with us on Cox Community LA. Welcome back. If you're looking for some fun for your family, you might want to consider Livingston Parish. Its central location in the state makes it easy to get to, and there's plenty to do. Here's Jonathan J.T. Taylor from the Convention and Visitors Bureau to explain.
We are here to support our hotels and RV parks, and the way we do that, we promote events, festivals, different museums, the movie industry. Youth sports is huge for us. We always push that over 600 miles of waterways. If you like to fish, if you like to relax, if you like to just ride boats or jet skis, Livingston Parish is a perfect place to do that. We're right there along I-12, runs directly through Livingston Parish. We have Interstate 55, so we are a perfect location, not only for tourists when they're coming through from Houston to Atlanta or whatever, they could stop, you know, as a halfway point and stay in our beautiful hotels, but also for businesses. Tourism, it's not just people going on vacation. So construction, we have Jubin Crossing, a new development there in the parish, and a lot of construction workers staying in our hotels. It's easy for us to sell it just because of the convenience. It's a very large parish too. And you have the west side, that's kind of your larger Denham Springs, Walker, hotels, restaurants. We have an award-winning Bass Pro. We have the Antique District also, one of the 3 largest antique districts in Louisiana. You go tiki tubing, go down Amite River, we have KOA. They have putt-putt golf and a swimming pool. People really love the KOA there just because of the convenience, the restaurants. They can park their RV there and then go to the Antique District, go to Bass Pro, go eat. Then also we have Lakeside, which is along the interstate as well. It's very nice, very clean, a 17-acre lake there, so you could go fish. You don't have to have an RV. They also have a couple cabins that you can rent out. Greystone is a beautiful golf course here in Denham Springs, right off the interstate. A brand new clubhouse, great for events, Olympic-sized swimming pool, tennis courts. If you like golf and you like a little challenge, I would ask you to go to Greystone and check it out and let us know what you think about it. LIGO is something I would encourage if you have children and even adults. If you're interested in science, it's one of only 2 facilities in the United States. The other one is in Washington State. It's a scientific facility. They test gravitational waves. Scientists from all over the world are there. Robert Reynolds does a great job with the World War II reenactment and the festival they have going on. They meet at Old South Jamboree, which is a very historic music venue here in Livingston Parish. The New Orleans World War II Museum is involved, bringing equipment up there. They have all your vehicles, your tanks, your trucks. The Tickfall 200 goes on the first weekend of May. It has now become the largest powerboat poker run in the United States. People love it. We have helicopters come in. limousines driving in, and you wouldn't think down in this Springfield you got limos coming, but it's a big weekend. We have the Redneck Regatta, and this is something totally different for probably some different people, but it's something that is very enjoyable where you make your own boat. So for those of you that can't afford, the $1 million boat, make your own boat and come enjoy that day where you have races in your own boats. A lot of times we push because a lot of things happen in the west side. Denham Springs, of course, you have your restaurants and Bass Pro, but the east side has a lot of history. In Albany, Springfield, home to the largest rural Hungarian settlement in the United States. You have Carter Plantation, which is the only plantation home in Livingston Parish. It was actually built by a free man of color, and that is on, of course, Carter Plantation Golf Course, a David Toms designed golf course. Springfield being the third oldest town in the state of Louisiana. And in Springfield you will find the first courthouse ever built in Livingston Parish. Tickfall State Park is kind of a hidden gem, we like to say. Located just south of Springfield. There are cabins, you don't have to have an RV. There's a splash park for kids to play in, walking trails throughout the swamps along the river. You could fish there at Tickfall. It's a nice little getaway, even if you live in the parish. We have several species of birds that people like to just come down, take pictures, and sit back and relax and enjoy nature. So it's just a diverse, really diverse parish. Even for somebody like me that grew up in Livingston, I didn't know that was here. I didn't know we had this. So to find out what's going on with events, festivals, hotels, restaurants, check out our website. It's at livingstontourism.com. We keep it updated. Check us out on Facebook. Visit Livingston Parish and Twitter, always posting events and giveaways on a daily basis. New events, we have events going almost every weekend, so check it out. Stay up to date with us on our social media and our website.
The Cox 4 crews love to travel throughout Livingston Parish to bring you those great shots. It's a fun place. We're going to take a quick time out, and when we come back, we'll catch up with the Louisiana Lottery. Don't miss it. Welcome back. When it comes to winning, nobody can help you win bigger than the Louisiana Lottery. With more and more games and unique prizes, there's always something special cooking. Of course, the lottery does more than games. Let's take a look at what they're working on.
Eureka! What in tarnation? It's gold! The gold rush is on!
The rush is on for Gold Rush from the lottery. Win up to $200,000.
It's gold!
Get in the rush with Gold Rush from the lottery.
Need a reason to smile. Welcome to The Big Deal, the Louisiana Lottery's news show. I'm Kimberly Chopin. Over the next month, we'll be taking you behind the scenes at Tony Chachery's Creole Foods of Opelousas as we celebrate our Spice It Up Scratch Off partnership. This week, we visit with Don Chachery, Tony's oldest grandson, who's been with the company 33 years. Here's what he had to say about running Tony Chachery's.
It's a lot of fun because you've got a clean slate, you can do things and make it happen. And you see the results, or you see the consequences of what you do. So you're responsible for what you do, but it's fun because when the rewards come, it's always enjoyable. Our business philosophy is very simple. It's do the right thing. Whenever we talk to a customer, whether it be whatever corporate account it might be, we always live up to what we say we're going to do, and we always follow through. So we have a good reputation, but we've earned it by doing the right thing. My greatest accomplishment is carrying on the legacy of Tony and being able to create and bring out new products to market, as well as being a good provider for the employees that work here. I think that we treat all our employees well, and it gives you a lot of opportunity to do things and help other people. And that's the part that I really enjoy about being able to help others that are in need outside of this company. what you remember most about him, and I spent a lot of time with him, he was a big man. A lot of people think he was a little guy, but he's actually 6'3", 229 pounds. So he was a big guy. He loved to hunt and fish, he loved to cook, and he always had this great big smile on his face. So that's the thing you learn about Tony. You always had fun around him. He was a lot of energy. He always made you laugh. A tremendous salesperson. And one of the things that I tell people that surprises them is that he's in the Equitable Life Insurance Hall of Fame for being one of the top producers ever. And he started this business at the age of 67 years old. People don't realize that a lot of people are sitting back and retiring at 67. He was just starting this company at the age of 67. Because we're social people. I mean, in Louisiana, we're such a fun-loving state. We love, and the enjoyment that comes in the camaraderie of cooking a great dish, and then we like to brag a little bit too when we do something good. So we like to share those with other people, and that's been the legacy of Louisiana, because we think we cook better than anybody else in the world, and there's a lot of truth to that too. Oh, it feels great. It's always good to see somebody take and help and endorse your brand and being with a good partner that's a part of the state. You know, the seating. I mean, how can I go anywhere without that? And I love that. But I love them all, because, you know, when we come to market with a new product, it's something we like. It's something we've proven that it works well. So we have to enjoy it and really like it first before we can put it to market. Yes, I do. Spice it up.
It's one of my favorites too. Join us next week where we'll see behind the scenes how Tony Chachere's develops new products. See you then.
Tony Chachere's.
Spice it up with a new $2 scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery. Win up to $10,000. Put a little flavor in your wallet today.
I have a long list of things that I'm going to do when I hit big with the lottery. I'm sure you do too. We're done here today. Thank you for watching Community LA. Be sure to go out and make a difference in your community. I'm Nils Breckoff. See you next time on Cox 4, Louisiana's local television.